everyone, and welcome to Science Lab. The signs are happening because Jesus is coming. Every day we're looking at some of the end time signs happening around us, and today we're going to look at some of the end time signs happening in Europe.
Today in Britain, it's easy to feel good. It's hot and sunny, and we have a new Prime Minister brimming with positivity, energy and can-do.
Now bring us sunshine, proclaims the front page of Daily Mail. That's the mood of much of the nation. After years of doubt and negativity, we have a Prime Minister who believes that Great Britain can be great.
Many in the United States are probably feeling upbeat as well. Robert Mueller's testimony on July 24, 2019 seems to be a turning point. It appears to be a major defeat for those who wanted to overturn a democratic election. And perhaps even many everyday Americans who don't like the president may be ready to move on from this.
And after 3 years of lies and smears...
So Britain has a pro-Brexit dream team running the country. President Donald Trump is finally slipping off the Russia collusion accusation noose from around his neck. For both nations, there are great reasons for optimism. It just takes a quick glance at the headlines to see how the Mueller hearings went. The Mueller hearings were a waste of everyone's time. New York Post. Euphoria, White House. GOP exult after a flat Mueller performance. Politico. The blockbuster that wasn't. Mueller disappointments. The Democrats. New York Times. Despite all the hype from men like House Judiciary Committee Chair Jerry Nadler, the hearing did not expose President Trump as a criminal. Instead, it shed more light on the Mueller inquiry and the rabid efforts of the far left to tear down a president they despise. Even pro-impeachment, Harvard law professor Lawrence Tribe tweeted, "Much as I hate to say it, this morning's hearing was a disaster." ABC News senior national correspondent Deroy Moran declared, "Impeachment's over." Seeing all this coverage, I immediately thought, can President Trump get control of his own divided government? Biblical prophecy indicates that there will be something of a turnaround under President Trump, and that President Trump will actually gain more control of these government agencies that have been working to unseat him. We saw something of a turnaround in the Mueller testimony. The book of Amos contains prophecies for the future. Amos chapter 9 verse 13, for example, describes an idyllic world where there is so much of abundance that the plowman shall overtake the reaper. There is not enough time to gather all the food in before the fields need to be planted again. That hasn't happened yet.
Amos also describes King Jeroboam II, who ruled the kingdom of Israel during Amos's lifetime, because Amos contains prophecies of the future, like Amos chapter 9 verse 13. Depictions of Jeroboam II are prophetic. Amos was forecasting a future leader who would accomplish similar things to Jeroboam II. That's one reason why Amos's book has been preserved for nearly 3,000 years.
The history of Jeroboam II's reign is recorded in 2 Kings chapter 14. For the Lord saw that the affliction of Israel was very bitter, and whether the bond or free, there was no helper for Israel. And the Lord did not say that he would blot out the name of Israel from under heaven, but he saved them by the hands of the Jeroboam the son of Joash.
Israel was nearing collapse. God had to intervene to save the nation. God was merciful and used Jeroboam to oversee one last age of prosperity. The same has happened today in the modern descendants of ancient Israel, which includes the United States. This country came painfully close. We came dangerously close to allowing a few people, reckless, lawless people, to spread lies, conspiracies, and hoax, and successfully trying to undo the will of the American people. Those people were getting control of the government. Justice in the land was destroyed. Rule of law was twisted and perverted. People were losing faith in the government. If this trend had continued, it would have meant the end of our republic. But God was not ready for that. He was going to save America, along with Britain and Jewish nation. God used a modern version of Jeroboam II to save America, and Britain would be saved too.
And now it's time for the trivial question of the day. The question is, who is called the Britain's Trump?
Option A, Nigel Farage. Option B, Jeremy Corbyn. And option C, Boris Johnson.
We'll find out the answer after a short break.